This week in Aurora, Colorado, there was a shooting. A young man shot a number of people in a movie theater. The country's in a panic. People are looking at each other with suspicion. It isn't because of this one shooting. It's because we've had shootings and bombings for 12 years. Now, the United States government uses software that does pattern recognition. It's patterned with algorithms. It examines news items. It looks for similar occurrences, and it points fingers at particular causes. The earliest version of that software was PROMIS. The newer version is the highly secret Planitir. And it's capable of almost anything. Very, very, very effective. Fixing, causing harm, fixing problems. What it's not recognizing and what we're not being told, it's very simple. Let's take a look at the Berwick incident in Norway. Young gentleman shoots over 80 people. Police never show up because they have no helicopters. But the pictures that we have of them are from helicopters. He was a Freemason. He belonged to the same organization the police did. He was trained in Poland, where the U.S. has a training base. My guess, and it's more than a guess, he carried an American assault rifle. He had returned from Poland, where there was an American base. Another such situation, the D.C. sniper here in the U.S. And there's so many of these, we forget them. This individual did 16 years in U.S. Special Forces, very highly paid, trained sniper, trained professional. There's no record of him ever leaving the military. He was supposedly homeless. The jacket he was arrested in cost $4,700. It was an Armani. He traveled first class around the world, and yet he was supposedly poor. He was supposedly a homeless person, but according to our records, had a high-ranking position in the Army. We had a serious incident years ago in Oklahoma City, where a federal building was blown up. Huge number of people were killed. This building was blown up by a truck bomb, but this truck bomb, according to physics, what would have fit in the back would have barely broken the windows. Instead, it dissolved the front half of a building from a very directional explosion that would have required a temperature in the hundreds of thousands or millions of degrees, literally. Now, the U.S., it is not known to many, but we build nuclear weapons, which we use, that are small enough to put in your pocket. We have another incident. Fort Hood, an Army psychiatrist, murders 12 people. He's supposedly a Muslim. He shows up in Muslim garb. But the pistol he uses is the pistol of a Navy SEAL, something he would have never had, a 5.7 millimeter Herstal. He belonged to an organization at his previous station that placed him near the President of the United States. He wasn't just a psychiatrist. He was a member of a special insider government group. We're finding a pattern in these situations. Let it be the attempted assassination of Gabby Giffords, member of Congress in Arizona. Police were 1 minute away. There should have been 12 police with and around her. They were 1 minute away. They showed up 40 minutes later. As with Berwick, no police show up. These incidents are showing a pattern of people who are in contact with government psychiatrists on particular medications. Some have extremely specialized training like Tim McVeigh or the DC sniper. Some have access to, for instance, weaponized anthrax from extremely secretive and highly secure government labs. We're seeing a pattern of behavior that indicate that the U.S. government is involved in a program, clearly involved in a program to break down the cohesive aspects of U.S. society, to make people complacent, fearful, to feel separated, to feel dependent, to not question the government at all. We are being socially engineered through acts of violence, and pattern recognition software should be proving to many people, and many people have access to this, that these incidents, and it's not a few, I could go on for hours talking about them. There are so many of them, and they have so many of the same characteristics that many of them, not all, but many are being perpetrated by our own government.